Hello, everybody. Okay, today, PhotoREAL, Leonardo's PhotoREAL. Now, what really got my attention with this is that they claim that you don't need a negative prompt. Now, if you've seen any of my videos, whenever I am dealing with someone and a person or actually anything, I put in a negative prompt because, I don't want for a person to have like three legs and one leg that's going backwards in the wrong direction. It happens even though I put the negative prompt in, but at least I can say the negative prompt is there. However, with PhotoREAL, apparently you don't need one. It kind of takes out all of that noise, and it works with Alchemy. I'll put in a link to the Alchemy video, but Alchemy is a really impressive pipeline that has different phases in it that you can play around with, and it really comes out with some nice crisp images. Now, as you can see, I've been playing around with PhotoREAL here. I had this fairy prompt and I just wanted to see what it can do, and I really liked it. I mean, when they say that you don't really need a negative prompt, they don't even have one in here. You don't have a negative prompt. Just like Alchemy, what you do have is different phases or levels. I call them phases actually in the pipeline. Now, let me do a quick overview of what this brings to the table and, how we can use it. Now, let's see with the raw mode. Now, with raw mode, I have used raw mode before. It was a while ago. But raw mode is useful whenever you have really long prompts. There's times when you have a very complex image and you need a longer prompt, but that longer prompt comes with with challenge like you have an increased chance of anomaly and an increased chance of not getting exactly what you want. So with raw mode on, that you can actually go ahead and you can just enable it, because I'm actually going to deal with a long prompt for this demonstration. So you can go ahead and play around with it. Then with the depth of field. Now with depth of field, you're talking about how, let's put in layman's terms, how fuzzy the image is. Now, if you have something where you're looking at just everything else around in the image, it's going to look a little bit fuzzier. It's actually softness, but it's going to look fuzzier. Now, as you focus on something, it's going to become sharper and crisper and cleaner. And that's what that means. So low field of depth means that it's actually shallow and it's looking a bit fuzzier. The higher, then when you go up to, I think you have low, medium, and high. Yeah. When you go up to a high depth field, then you're dealing with sharper image. So I'm actually going to put it at medium for right now for this. Let's go ahead and save that. Now, when it comes to that, okay, another thing to learn is that prompt magic does not work with PhotoREAL. So you can have one or the other, you can't have both. Understandable. As far as, now Alchemy settings, I've gone into Alchemy as I mentioned before, and I like I said, I'll put in a link to the description to the video I did. But with this one, I am going to, I'm going to keep, I'll keep it as it is. I'm not going to do high resolution. But one thing you should know that high resolution tends to add tokens. So if you're looking to not have as many tokens, spend as many tokens, you want to keep, your eyes on the kind of features that you're implementing. If you have like 10,000 tokens, you don't care, go for it. So for this one, I'm actually going to use, I love the fairy one and I'm still playing around with it. I am going to use a prompt that I had used from another one. Let me go ahead. Excuse me. And this is basically nice, hyperrealistic. This is basically just a really cool image that I had done a while back, and I wanted to see how it would look in this. So as I mentioned, we have the cinematic view of PhotoREAL. So let's go ahead and see what happens. And of course, when you generate, it'll give you 17 tokens. If you add high res, I think it adds 3 more per image. So my 17 would turn into, what, 26? Oh, these are magnificent. Look at that. Nice definition. Oh, I love her arm work. Her arm tattoo is yeah, it's probably just this is I guess cyberpunk steampunk space theme image, and I think it looks awesome. I mean, I am amazed at how clean it looks and how well defined her image is, and the image in the background for sure. It looks fantastic. If anything, she could be something, in a game. I think she could be a game character. Just a thought. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. Now that's the cinematic. So let's take a look at the creative and go from there. Just to give you an idea what the prompt is. It's exploding star station. I full body cover, hyper detailed. She's got short red hair, so I was trying to make her like something that would be in a video game, or in one of those really high end films. So let's go ahead and see what she looks like under creative phase of Leonardo PhotoREAL. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm looking at this. This is nice. I love it's a tilted version of what I think would be a black hole or some kind of this looks cool. Either way. Yep. Well defined. Yeah, this pose, even though I like it, it looks kind of weird. To me, it looks like a contortion or distortion. But she could be in an action, she could be running, whatever. But I think it still looks fantastic. Again, fingers looking good, because Leonardo actually all of them have a tendency to add fingers. Now when I compare it to creative, she looks like she's more in flow in the creative. There's a little bit more like she's got, in those, you have those people who have like the cinematic, it's got the airy look to it, like they're being bombarded with a bunch of air, and their hair looks a little different. This one, she's more static. It's more of a power pose, while this one is more of a potentially action pose. So I like it. I really like it. Okay, let's try vibrant. I'm interested to see what this one would look like in this context. Oh, wow. This was an interesting pose. Let me take a look at these individually. Okay, again, I'm liking the fact that I'm not seeing multiple limbs all over the place. So refreshing. Now, when I look at this one, she's looking someplace. And I like the definition of the neck. I mean, that's really good. When the muscles come up and all that, it's really detailed. I love it. I like this one. I like the way her hair is looking. So there is a vibrance. So let me take a look at this compared to the other two. In my eye, this one looks a little bit lighter. As far as there's a light wash over it that makes it look lighter. This one looks pretty okay, but this one definitely looks a little bit darker. It could be the way it was rendering, but either way, there are subtle differences between them that I really appreciate. I like that as a power pose. It's really nice. All right, so let's go into what the nun looks like. Thanks so much for your time. If you could like this video, if you find it useful, it'll help me to figure out what kind of content you want to see. And then there's the YouTube algorithm thing. Yep, we all know how that goes. So thanks for your time, and let's get back to it. Oh, this is cool. Love her guns. Got a nice little gun show going here. Awesome. Yes. I kind of like these. They look, if you can't really see it, but I love the detail of her hair here. It looks beautiful. What I'm seeing here is that these images look a little bit like illustrations, very slightly. Like her hair, it looks great, but I can kind of look in the background and say this looks more like an illustration. It's got some illustrative features to it. Oh yeah, I love the gun show. I totally love it. Looks like she's about to go, she's about to really like go after somebody. That is cool. So I like these. I am overall impressed with PhotoREAL, and I can't say enough that I love the fact that I don't have to do multiple limbs and weird poses. So other than that one, that looked kind of questionable, but it wasn't a distortion. It looked like she was in a very odd pose. But I really like this PhotoREAL, and I have liked it, especially when I tried it with my fairy images. Now, whenever I need something that's gonna be realistic, I would definitely use this. This will be fantastic to create images for games if you're trying to do illustrations. If you're trying to do illustrations for a book, this will be fantastic. If you're doing something animated, obviously this would not work. But still, I mean, it is a fantastic way to render images and to kind of bring your imagination even more to life, especially since it's now combined with alchemy, which creates these amazing images that, you can do for any project. So I highly recommend PhotoREAL. You can play around with the depths of the field depths, and you can just choose to put raw mode on depending on how long your prompt is. In this case, I chose to put because my prompt was pretty long. And you can play around with the alchemy settings and, render it however you want to render it. But I would definitely recommend giving it a try. I think they have a free, you can take a look at it for 5-day trials on the free account, which is what I'm using on one of my free accounts. And you can definitely just play around with it and decide that if you wanted to go into and just, if you want to do Leonardo, great. And, try it full time with a paid subscription, not a free subscription. So I would definitely recommend this, and please go ahead, give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.